Muses of Mythology is a spoiler-heavy podcast.
That's an understatement.
We're going to discuss not just the events of this book, but the Riordanverse as a whole, and really anything that we feel is relevant. You can find full spoiler warnings in the show notes.
Sorry, me and Johnny are in an argument as to whether or not Tarzan or Quasi would win in a fight in a jungle.
Oh, in the jungle? Tarzan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Home base.
He's banking on, well, it's not like his jungle. It's a jungle in Japan.
He's still
more adapted to the jungle
Yeah,
thing, and he's constantly wrestling gorillas and shit.
Yeah.
Quasimodo, he's got strength, don't get me wrong, and he's very acrobatic as we see throughout the movie, but I just don't think he's
not as acrobatic as Tarzan.
No.
Surfing the vines, swinging vine to vine. Yeah, Quasi can pull the bell, and that takes strength, but that's a lot of upper body strength. Tarzan has a core strength about him, right? The swinging, the grabbing, the pulling, no, it is. Now, if we were just doing, wrestling, I think Quasi. But they wouldn't be in the same weight class. We gotta get back to the episode. Put your phone down. Tell Johnny he's wrong. Welcome to Muses of Mythology, a podcast where we explore how ancient myths become part of modern pop culture through the lens of Rick Riordan's Heroes of Olympus. This is story 131, Medea. I'm your co-host and podcasting muse, Darien Smartt. Joining me is my co-host and brother, DJ.
How's everybody doing today? I'm DJ the Muse, and I've been playing a lot of Pal World.
Crazy, I've been playing Bacopia.
I know. It's,
Dalton's been playing Beastie Ball. We're all playing Pokemon.
We're all playing a form of Pokemon. The 1.0 came out last month, and we just got a dedicated server to where everybody can just kind of join and come as we want. Oh,
fun.
So it's been super fun, actually.
Nice. I've been playing too much Bacopia, but I love it.
Yeah,
I went around. I love the Pokepod, which is a thing that you can access the same stuff you put in one box at any other box location.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
there's been a fucking game changer.
In Power World, it's called the Guild Chest.
That's nice.
It's wow. I have it to where one base is just doing a pal drops, which is they have the thing that they drop when they die or something like that. Yeah. It's like the ranch, and I have it just putting in that so I can have all those materials at my ore base and production base.
Fantastic.
It's great.
I just want to hang out with little animals, but it turns out I'm just doing a lot of organization and labor.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the episode. But no, we got to muse on their garden first. DJ.
What's up?
Hey. Here it is. It's time.
It's Medea.
Mentioned we were going to have a guest for this episode.
Couldn't get that to work.
Line up, unfortunately, schedules before the recording. But I promise. Hey, see? I did it. And here it is. It's coming out on the day that I promised. I'm
it's
back
happening.
on it. We're locking in. We're back on it. I got all the Pacopia out of my system. I can lock in again.
Yep.
So, DJ.
Yes.
I want to do this episode in a slightly different order than we usually do.
Okay.
So, rather than, and I mean, it probably is the same one, but rather than what do you recall about Medea in the books, what do you know about Medea in general? And if it's things that are mentioned in the books, that's fine too. But I don't want to talk specifically about her until actually the end.
Was she the one who killed her two kids?
That is Medea. That is one of the things she's most noted for. Yes.
I know that she was one of the women that were wronged by Jason? Theseus?
No, she's Jason, not Theseus.
Jason.
And honestly, she's the only woman who was wrong. Unlike Theseus, who was running around left and right.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm like. One of these guys had a lot.
Yeah. Listen, they both.
I was about to say wronged by a hero, but I'm like, I know the specific one somewhere.
Yes, you did it. Listen, they both sucked, but they were in different ways, largely.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that vein, what did Jason do that Medea was relevant in?
The Argonaut.
Yeah!
The Golden Fleece?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job. Okay, so...
That's the only thing I know from Jason.
Yeah, she helped with the Golden Fleece. She was screwed over by Jason. She killed her kids.
You hate to see it.
Those are... Yeah, I mean, and those are kind of the big things you're going to know about Medea, because those are the big things about Medea.
It's a situation where it's that's kind of, everything.
It's everything. And there's a lot. And here's the thing. There's sometimes where it's we name 3 things and that's it. There's nothing to dissect there.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton to dissect with Medea. My notes are 8 pages long.
Nice.
That's another reason this episode took a while to rev up too, because I knew exactly what I was getting into. Okay, so I want to also start off with this. There are always content warnings in the show notes.
Yes.
Anything that might be I don't want to jump scare anybody with something that's not going to make this episode fun. The goal is always to be kind of a cozy mythology podcast. You just listen to your best friends talking about things. This episode is going to talk about murder and specifically the death of children at the hands of parents. And we're going to discuss that a lot. Not going to go into detail, not going to describe it, but it is a thing that's going to be an extended period of conversation because we're talking about Medea.
Yeah, it's her thing.
And so that could be a thing that is not super fun. It's not super fun in general.
No.
But if that's an element that's going to be really distressful for you, dear listener, you know what? You should re-listen to the Wolves episode. That one was fun and weird.
We had a good time.
Yeah. Or double back in. We'll just see you in 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Just wanted to be upfront about that because even while I was making the notes, I was like, oh, this is really starting to depress me. So let's get into it. So the thing about Medea is that she has been an element of Greek mythology for a very long time, as most of the ones that survive are. But she is referenced in Hesiod's Theogony. So that's very old indeed. And the Theogony was written in the 8th century BCE. And since it's the purpose of this text was to be an account of genealogy, he's only noting Medea's parentage and her marriage to Jason. So, specific quote, "And to the untiring sun god, the renowned daughter of Oceanus Perseus bore both Circe and Aeetes the king. And Aeetes, the son of Helios, who brings light to men, by the will of gods, married fair-cheeked Idua, a daughter of Oceanus of the fullest stream. And she bore to him fair-ankled Medea, overpowered in love through golden Aphrodite." Jump a little later. "And the daughter of Aeetes, the king dear to Zeus, and the son of Iason, by the will of the everlasting gods, led away from Aeetes, after he had finished his troublesome labors, and the many great labors that the overbearing king had assigned to him, the arrogant and presumptuous doer of violence, Peleus, with those completed by the son of Iason, arrived at Iolcus, having suffered much, leading onto the ship the swift-eyed girl, and made her his wedded wife. And yoked by Jason, shepherd of the people, she bore the child Medeos, brought up in the mountain by Chiron, the son of Pheria, and the will of the great Zeus was completed." So,
Jeez.
Foundational details about Medea. She is the granddaughter of Helios, the niece of Circe, and she fell in love with Jason, who, at the end of his labors, took Medea home and married her.
Nice. Wonderful. Sounds great.
That sounds pretty good,
Happily ever
honestly.
after.
Yeah, pretty standard. So, another super ancient thing about Jason are his labors. When I say ancient, this is all ancient, right? But it's ancient to the point that Homer is referencing it in the Odyssey, right? It is understood to have taken place before the ancient war of Troy, right? Circe tells Odysseus, when she's telling him how he has to navigate between Scylla and Charybdis, that he has to go close to Scylla because the only other ship that ever got through there safely was the Argo. And that's only because Hera liked Jason and led him through, personally sent a dove, right? You don't have a goddess of that caliber watching your back, motherfucker, so you're going to have to sacrifice 6 men.
Terribly sorry, you do got B-lister Athena. It's a little rough. Yeah. You hate to see it.
You're going to get smited. I can't believe you just said that on our podcast.
Well, that's clearly what you just said.
Well, she doesn't have his back at that point. They're not talking right now. She's still
in the
pissed.
Normal Odyssey?
Yeah, in the Odyssey. She doesn't roll up and start looking after him again until after he's been on Calypso's island. And she decides, okay, I think he's suffered enough. But he's on his own.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it. So, like I said, it's a really ancient story that ancient writers were referencing and didn't have to go into detail with because they knew their audience was going to be familiar with this tale. But for our purposes, the purposes of being modern day myth lovers or storytellers wanting to reference Jason and the Golden Fleece and Medea, we have one major text that you can go to. And it came about quite a bit later in the timeline. So, we're going to talk about Apollonius of Rhodes' Argonautica, which was written in the 3rd century BCE. It was written specifically in Alexandria, Egypt, during the Ptolemaic dynasties.
Wow.
So, pretty late in the Hellenistic period. But this is the most complete and surviving text that we have to talk about this story.
Yeah.
So, now Medea appears in book 3 of the text. And it starts with the line, quote, "Come now, Erato, stand by my side, and say next how Jason brought back the fleece to Iolcus, aided by the love of Medea." Translation from one R.C. Seaton, done in 1912. Now, summoning... DJ, do you know who Erato is?
I don't think so, no.
She's a muse.
Oh.
Specifically the muse of love poetry.
Fun.
Of erotic love poetry.
Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
where we get the name. Or Eros. I'm not sure whether she did. You know what? Probably that, though, right? So, it's fitting for this tale, because after that, the text specifically opens with Hera and Athena discussing how to best help Jason as he reaches the Isle of Cloacus, where he is supposed to get the Golden Fleece. We have talked about Jason and the Golden Fleece in the past. Way back in season 2. So I have no idea what we talked about.
Yeah, it's
how solid
gone.
that
It
is.
was 2021.
Crazy.
Ridiculous.
And we're going to talk about the Argonauts later when we do Mark of Athena and have the Argo too. So we're not going to worry about what happens in book 1 and 2 yet. We'll get more into that later. But here we are. We're getting up on Colchis. He's got to get the Golden Fleece.
Mm-hmm.
And Hera and Athena know this is going to be a hard time because Aedes, son of Helios, is king here. And he's kind of a dick. So they're like, okay, what are we going to do? Well, Hera thinks that, quote, the daughter of Aedes, the enchantress, would be helpful, meaning Medea.
Mm-hmm.
So they enlist the help of Aphrodite and Eros. And so when Medea first sets eyes on Jason, she is struck by Eros's arrow.
Hate to see it.
And utterly compelled to do anything he needs.
Sad.
Medea is explicitly...
Stood no chance.
No, yeah. Medea is explicitly described as a priestess of Hecate, which is part of the reason why Hera thought she would be helpful. Not only is she the daughter of the king, so should know him pretty well, she also can do magic.
Yeah. She's a witch.
She's a witch, yeah. She's one of the great Greek witches. And so, when Jason rolls up and he requests the fleece, Aedes is really pissed. Like, he's the audacity. How dare you come here and request, like, my most treasured, beloved, like, sacred object of the Isle of Cloacus. Essentially, if he wasn't a guest in his house, Aedes would probably have killed him right
I
then
wouldn't
and there.
doubt it.
But he couldn't do that because that's
Xenia.
uncouth. But Xenia, the law of Zeus.
The law of Zeus.
So instead, he just says, yeah, you can have it. You just have to prove, you're worthy. All you have to do is yoke some oxen and plow the field and plant these dragon teeth. And if you do that, I'll give you the fleece. And Jason's like, okay, cool, bet. I guess I'll do that tomorrow. And they're like, yeah, you can do that tomorrow. And meanwhile, Medea, she's all torn up.
Big fuck off oxen.
Yeah.
Probably.
Not only
I
are
don't know. They're mean.
they are, they also breathe fire.
Yeah.
So Medea knows this. She also knows that those dragon teeth are going to grow into skeletal warriors that are going to hack Jason to bits if the fire-breathing oxen don't get to him first. And she's like, the text describes how she is completely like torn apart by guilt and shame. Like she's literally divinely compelled to want to help Jason. But she also
still likes her family,
is loyal to her father and her family and doesn't want to be a traitor to her people. She's the princess of Colchis. This is their golden fleece. At one point, she almost takes her own life by eating some poison herbs, but she doesn't do that. But that's how distressed she is here. But in the end, you're not going to defy the will of Hera, Athena, Aphrodite, and Eros.
Yeah.
So she does go to Jason and she gives him the rundown of like, hey, the ox breathe fire. So here's an ointment. It's called the Charm of Prometheus. It's going to make you fireproof, right? Put it all over yourself, all over your armor, over your weapons. Also, those dragon teeth are going to sprout into skeletons, right? So you're just going to throw a rock. You're going to throw a rock and they're going to go after the rock. And they're going to want it. And they're going to hack each other apart. Why? I don't know. They're kind of stupid. They're literally boneheads. And Jason says, cool. Okay, thanks. And so he does that. And yay, he wins.
Wow.
And then Aedes is extra pissed. And he either decides he's just going to kill Jason outright, so they have to flee. Or he says, okay, you can go get the fleece. Yeah, just go over there. It's on the tree. And on the tree is a sleeping dragon, a sleeping serpent, whatever the text says. And this is where, once again, Medea jumps into action. Either by giving Jason a potion that puts the beast to sleep, or by going up herself and singing it to sleep, so Jason can get the fleece out of the tree. When she helps him here, this is where he promises to take her with him and make her his wife. And so then they run away back to the Argo. And of course, they're being pursued. Sometimes it's just by Hades, but oftentimes the text tells of one of Medea's siblings, her brother. Where the fuck is his name? Oh, I didn't write it down.
Wow.
Weird. Okay, so Medea's brother chases after them, right? And to get away, like, Jason kills him, right? Meaning Aegeus is going to have to stop and give his son proper burial rights. That gives the Argo enough time to get away.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that Apollonius changes. Because in earlier versions of the tale, Medea is the one who kills her brother.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
He softens it a little bit. She is there. She doesn't stop Jason from killing him. But in earlier texts, she's the one that kills him. And in some versions of the story, goes so far as to cut his body to pieces and throwing it in the ocean behind the Argo, so her father pursuing them will have to stop, collect the body, and bring him, do the burial rites.
That's rough.
It's pretty dark. Now, again, remember, she has been divinely compelled
she
to help this man.
She can't do anything.
She has to do anything to help
but
Jason.
She doesn't have to do that.
I mean, if it's the thing that's going to keep her father from stopping Jason. So.
Hate to see it.
Yes. Kinslaying is a pretty heinous act. Whether or not Medea is the one that held the weapon. So, the next thing they do in the Argonautica is they stop by Circe's island. Because all the gods, even Zeus has got a pissed. They got storms getting in their way. So they need to do something to cleanse this for it. So they roll up to Circe's island, and they do seek a ritual to cleanse them of this heinous act. And the reason they go to Circe's island is probably because Apollonius was really mapping his text off of Homer's The Odyssey. Jason goes to Circe because Odysseus went to Circe, and Circe told him about Jason. And so
had to
a little bit snake eating its own tail on this like narrative piece here. There's a couple other things they do that are because Apollonius was like clearly a student of this kind of like Homeric epic writing while he was still using like contemporary traits to like, I'll talk more about it when we talk about the Argonauts. What am I doing? Okay. So that resolves that, right? And Medea continues to prove to be a really powerful asset to the crew of the Argo. She outright uses her magic to heal the warrior woman Atalanta when she's injured while they are fleeing. And then when they get to Crete, she is the one that defeats the giant automaton Talos. Something we also talked about way back early days, season 3, that would be. Either by tricking Talos into pulling out a nail that caused the golden ichor, powering him to bleed out, or sometimes she like prays to Hades and has like beasts of the underworld arrive and take him out. It's kind of crazy, but either way, it is Medea who resolves that problem too. Now, Apollonius' Argonautica ends without the Argo actually returning home, right? Was it just unfinished? Was it lost? Was that just where he intended to end it?
Who knows?
But that's...
It's over 2,000 years old.
Right. So that's where that ends. But we have plenty of other authors, the likes of Ovid or Diodorus Scullius, who describe the way Medea continued to support Jason even after they returned to Iolcus.
Iolcus?
Yeah, sure. Where Jason is from, right? I guess quick reminder, he's going after the fleece because his uncle usurped Jason's father and told Jason, if you want the throne, you have to go get the fleece, right? So one of the things Medea does is she helps Jason's father regain his youth using some sort of like blood magic for him.
Nice.
Yeah. And of course, because, you know, our big bad villain is an evil uncle Peleus does not give Jason the throne when he comes back with the golden fleece.
Bastard.
Like, right? He's not going to do that.
There's always an uncle vying for the throne.
Yeah. He just refuses, or he tells Jason you misunderstood, right? She just outright refuses. So Medea deals with this problem too. She tells Peleus' daughters that she can restore their father's youth, though not using the same trick she used for Jason's dad. Instead, Medea takes the oldest ram in their flock. She cuts it to pieces. She kills it. She cuts it to pieces. She drops it in a cauldron. Then she puts magical herbs and she says a spell, and out of the cauldron jumps a young lamb, revitalized, full of youth. And I would say, I personally believe, Peleus' daughters a little too enthusiastic about this. They then go chop up their dad, throw his body parts in the cauldron, and they say, okay, do the thing. And Medea doesn't do the thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's pretty brutal.
She's like, no,
now,
not going to do that.
This does not gain Jason the throne.
No, I don't. I wouldn't imagine it does.
Instead the couple are exiled. They're chased out of town for, killing the king and all that. Yeah, sometimes it's
Jason, you've been gone for so long, and this guy, he was doing a pretty bang up job. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Sometimes it is one of the king's sons who was actually a member of the Argo that has to banish Jason, and you have to leave. It's like, oh shit, that didn't work. Which, to be fair to Medea, killing people usually solves Jason's problems.
Yeah, it's been the same way the entire time.
Yeah, it worked before. Killing a relative worked before. Weird that it didn't work this time. So, they're chased away, and then they end up in Corinth, where Medea and Jason get married formally. Sometimes you'll have a text where it's suggested that they were married on Circe's island. Usually it's in Corinth, though. Now, Medea and then in Corinth, Medea successfully ends a famine by making a sacrifice to Demeter. So, still proving herself to be incredibly valuable. And she has between 2 and 14 kids, depending on the source. But once again, demonstrating her value as being perceived like the duties of a wife. Essentially, Medea has done everything one could expect of a member of a crew, an enchantress helping a hero, and a wife. So, the Argonautica is a super influential text on understanding the Medea myth in relation to the quest for the Golden Fleece. But I would argue it's not the most influential Medea text. So, we are going to jump back 200 years to the late 5th century BCE, and we're going to go catch a very important play. Euripides' Medea. This was a play, it was a tragedy, first performed in 431 BCE in the city Dionysia. This was the annual theater festival to Dionysus, where playwrights would submit 4 plays, 3 tragedies, 1 comedic satyr play, and then winners would be selected of the entries. In this year, Euripides came in 3rd place, which doesn't sound very impressive. I think there may have only been 3 entrants. I think he came in last. I'm not entirely sure. Simultaneously, I've never placed anything for writing I've never placed in any level for writing a play. So I'm not going to say
for writing, no.
Yeah, I'm not going to say 3rd place isn't impressive. Also, apparently that same year, Sophocles, who was another playwright who usually came in 1st, got 2nd place. So we could say the competition was pretty stiff. Yeah. And lastly, of all the plays that were performed that year, Medea is the only surviving one, even including the other 4 plays that are the other 3 plays that he submitted. So in terms of, standing the test of time, Medea won that one. All that said,
the only manuscripts were in the Library of Alexandria.
They burned.
You hate to see it.
I hate to see it. No, some of them just didn't get written down more than once. Some of them didn't get performed ever again. It kind of just depends.
That shit was pretty mean at the time, but looking back, we really don't give a fuck about it, actually.
Yeah. Some gets written down, and then they only get referenced by other playwrights later.
Yeah.
So the thing about that is that the low placement might also have been the result of the judges not looking so kindly on the liberties that Euripides seemingly took with the Medea tale. So, the play Medea by Euripides focuses on the end of Medea's time with Jason. The quest for the fleece is long over. They're married. They've been in Corinth. They have 2 sons together. The play opens with Medea enraged, right? Because Jason has just told her that he is going to leave her to marry the local king's daughter, Glauce. Glauce?
Okay.
And you can imagine that...
Yeah, you'd be mad.
Anyone
She's
would not
still
take
magically
that well.
Entrapped, too.
Yeah. You probably take that. Anybody would be pissed. And then there's Medea. King Creon, who is the king, the father of Glauce. Glauce probably is the right way. Now, he's, I would say, reasonably concerned that Medea is going to seek revenge on her daughter for Jason leaving her for the princess.
Yeah.
So he decides he's going to exile Medea and her children from Corinth. Just leave. Just go. Shoot. So you can't do anything. And so Medea manages to convince the king to give her one more day so she can prepare, right? And get everything she needs before she goes into exile with her two children. And the king says, yes, of course. I'm a kind and generous man. I won't have a problem with that. And Medea, as soon as he leaves, Medea very quickly establishes that no, that she would never grovel to the likes of that man. She would never ask him for anything. She just needs the time so she can enact her vengeance on Jason.
Yeah.
So a demonstration of what this text does demonstrate intentionally a couple times is Medea's skill in manipulating men, right? So one of the things that makes her terrifying to the audiences, the men who would be viewing this play at the time. Before Medea starts to enact her plan, we do get a conversation between her and Jason. An argument between her and Jason. And she points out everything she's done for him, from the golden fleece to orchestrating the death of his uncle and also being the mother of his children, and how all of the things that she did for him have resulted in Medea literally having nowhere else to go. She can't go home. She can't go really anywhere else in Greece. Who would welcome her? Mm-hmm. The woman who killed the king, right? And Jason doesn't take that seriously. But first, he claims that he doesn't owe Medea anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was the gods who compelled Medea to act on his behalf. Therefore, he is not grateful to Medea. He's only grateful to the gods.
That's crazy.
This line is, or this element, this theme is possibly where Apollonius will take that and run with it even more so in the Argonautica, where we have four gods directly acting upon Medea, where that is very explicit there. Less here, it's more like, oh yeah, you're struck by Cupid's Eros's arrow. That's just the understanding. But was that believed to have been 100% the god's intent in the Medea text? Who's to say? But it certainly is here, and it certainly is by the time we have the Argonautica. Additionally, she should be grateful to him for bringing her to a, quote, good Greek land and away from her Barbary.
Brother, she was a prince. Princess.
Medea being, quote, a barbarian bride and a foreigner is also an important element in the play. It is how Jason justifies leaving her in favor of marrying a local princess. He spells out how it is politically advantageous for him to marry this princess because she is going to elevate his status. In a way, being married to Medea, a foreigner or barbarian, it can't do, right? It would have been foolish for Jason to pass up the opportunity. And Jason also lets Medea know that he fully intended to combine their houses, meaning once he married the princess, he meant to have Medea be his mistress.
Yeah.
And then he would raise his sons in a prince-like fashion. Because, Medea just couldn't be chill and she flew off the handle about it. Now she's being exiled with the kids and there's nothing Jason can do. This is all her fault. This is the result of her actions. But, he does offer to give her, any of the gold she needs to be comfortable. And he encouraged her to go, stay with his old friends. Medea refuses both. Jason leaves. The chorus in the play are meant to be understood as, the women of Corinth, who Medea is talking to, and going over this honestly bad situation Jason has put her in. By abandoning her. She is lost. Jason's looking to elevate her status, and Medea has lost any status. She is a woman. She is a foreigner. She's on her own, with two children. Now she's an unmarried woman with two children in a foreign land. That's bad.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. And so Medea outlines her plot for revenge. First, she's going to kill Jason's new bride. Done. Easy, no problem. Then she's going to kill the children. If Jason's going to try to leave her to start a new family, she's going to make sure he has no family and no heirs. The plot to kill the princess is kind of the one or two there are a couple divine things, but the one like magical thing in the play that Medea does, she gets a golden robe that was a gift from her grandfather Helios and a gorgeous like crown, diadem, whatever, and she lines the robe with a terrible poison. So
Hercules style.
Hercules style. Yeah, that's actually a thing that's referenced. Like, does Medea do it because of, like, is it a reference directly to Hercules' wife?
Whom she would have known about, because Hercules spent some time on the Argonaut.
And there's
Argo.
And there's some text in which Medea heals Hercules from the madness inflicted by Hera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, he was on the... Actually, here's the thing. Hercules is not on the Argo by the time they get to Glaucus.
Oh, wow.
He ended up leaving the party because his boyfriend got kidnapped by water nymphs.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. So she actually never met Hercules on the Argo. Maybe she helped him because he abandoned her shitty ex-husband, right. Honestly. So when the princess puts on the robe, the poison will kill her terribly as if she were burned by fire. Now, you may remember that the king is banishing Medea because he suspects she's going to try to hurt his daughter.
Yeah, you would honestly, I would have just put a couple guards on her just to make sure that she can't do anything funny.
Yeah.
It's like, terribly sorry, you're not anywhere, you're not allowed to go near the castle.
Yeah. And actually, honestly, I would take it a step further, and I would just tell Jason he can't marry my daughter.
I mean, to be fair.
If I'm that worried about your wife, I would just be like, you know
simply put,
you're already
it's
married.
Too much drama, brother.
It's too much drama, brother. You're already married to an enchantress, to a foreign enchantress. I heard she killed a king.
To a barbaric foreign enchantress.
Who tricked a king's daughter into killing several of them. No. I don't need that kind of smoke. No, so they obviously, you're right. They would never let Medea anywhere near her. Why would they accept any gifts from her? She's clearly plotting something. So Medea tells Jason, let our sons give her this gift, this divine gift from my grandfather Helios, to try to persuade the king into lifting the exile on the boys so they can stay here with you and be raised like princes in comfort. And Jason says, what a great idea. Because we have another example of Medea manipulating men successfully. And it works.
Yeah, of course.
She
was like, whoa, it's like I'm on fire. Oh, it's like I'm on fire.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's like, yeah, well, it's a gift from Helios.
Actually, I didn't think about that. That's actually, yeah, DJs will burn as if she's on fire. A gift from the robe from the sun god. Yeah. That's definitely not
That's why nobody could get it off in time, because they was like, yeah, it's a gift from Helios.
It's a gift from Helios.
Of course it's like you're on fire. It's a gift from Helios.
Yeah. So, that goes. So when the children come home, the next step is Medea is going to kill her children.
Yeah.
Right. And this is so interesting. And I don't mean interesting as in good or cool or fun, because it's fucking devastating.
No.
It's awful. It's wretched.
It's an interesting choice to kill the kids.
But it's interesting in the way that Euripides portrays Medea is what is interesting. Because this is not displayed as an act of madness. It is not suggesting.
No, it's calculating. She's wanting to get at Jason in any way that's connected to her or just anything in general that she can reach, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like filicide is often an act of madness in Greek mythology. When someone kills their own children, it is understood that the gods have compelled them. No one in their right mind would do such a thing. Or it's done, the death of children are done in the moment of like warfare. Odysseus killing Hector's son. That is a horrible thing, but it is an act of war.
Yeah.
Medea kills her children in cold blood, right? It is premeditated. It is intentional. It is thought out. And she has lots of times to change her mind. And in fact, she does. But Euripides also demonstrates that this is not something she is happy to do, right? She is racked with pain at the idea of her children never seeing the world again, at the idea of them never laughing again. Yeah. Like, it hurts her. And she's like pushes her kids away. And then when they touch her just a little bit, she pulls them close to her. Like, she, for a moment, changes her mind. She sends the children back to the house, and she tells the women of Corinth, women, my strength is gone like a dream. Since I once looked upon those shining faces, I cannot do it. Goodbye to all the thoughts that burned so hard aforetime. I will take and hide them far, far from men's eyes. Why should I seek war so blind? By these babes' wombs to stealing again their father's heart, and win mine a pain twice as deeper. Never, never. I shall forget henceforth all I labored for. This translation being done by, because obviously this was a play in ancient Greek, translation was by Gilbert Murray, and I think 1905, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe 1912. Gilbert Murray did the thing that I don't like, where we'll just make it sound really old-timey, twine and tis.
Freaking Shakespeare.
Yeah, but he also made it rhyme, and that goes pretty smooth, but reading it was kind of hard. I pulled up a PDF, and I was reading the play for this, and I just desperately wish I could find one in modern vernacular, please. Then shortly after this, she sends away. A messenger comes to tell her that the princess is dead, and so is the king. Because when she was burning with the poison and in so much pain, her father grabbed her and tried to save her. The poison got on him as well, and now he has died. So she has been successful. She did it.
Mm-hmm.
And after...
completely ruining this little city-state here.
Kind of, yeah.
Sending it into complete fucking chaos.
Absolute chaos. And after doing this, this is when Medea regains her resolve to kill the children.
Mm-hmm.
She states, but now what she tells the women, like now she is saying, women, my mind is clear. I go to slay my children with all speed, and then away from hence. Not wait yet till I longer they stand beneath. Not wait yet longer. God, I fucking hate the way this is written.
It's bad.
Not
it's
wait
dumb.
yet long. This doesn't happen when I read Emily Wilson's translation of the Odyssey.
No, because it's written to read.
Yeah.
It's translated so you can read it.
Not wait yet longer till they stand beneath another and an angrier hand to die. Yea, howsoever I shield them, die they must. And seeing that they must, 'tis I shall slay them. I, their mother, touched by none besides. Oh, up and get thee armor on. My heart, why longer we tarry to win on our crown of inevitable dire sin? Take up thy sword, O poor right hand of mine. They sword, then onward to thine thin-drawn line. When your life turns agony, let there be not softness now, and keep thee from thy thought, born of thy flesh, thine own beloved. Now, but for one day, forget thy children. Thou shalt weep hereafter, though thou slay them yet. Sweet they were. I am so unfortunate. We rhymed yet with unfortunate. Fuck off, Murray.
Unfortunate.
So now we have Medea stating that she is going to still kill the kids, but it is because inevitably, either in their time in exile or now as a repercussion of the death of the king and the princess, they are going to be harmed.
Yeah.
Right? So the reasoning she is given now is rather than wait for some angrier, crueler, more violent hand to harm them, she will kill them herself. She will avoid their suffering.
She did kind of frame them.
She did set this up. Yes, she did.
She did kind of frame her own children.
Yep.
So.
And also, that's a good point. Because here's another little detail, DJ. Medea is saying that, we'll go to a distant land, it's going to be terrible. She has already secured refuge in Athens at this point.
Yeah, I was, because my only understanding of where Corinth might be is it's actually in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Really?
Yeah. And so I'm like, distant land could be 30 miles.
Yeah.
You know? Listen, distant was a much different thing. And it is a different thing in Europe than it is here in America.
For sure. Now, the king of Athens was visiting at this time earlier in the play, and he talks to Medea about how he doesn't have an heir. He's having such trouble with, infertility. So Medea hooks him up with some, herbs and potions to help him out. And he's like, I'll help you out if you promise me safe refuge should I ever need it in Athens. And the king's like, dope. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, sick. Fucking right
so,
on.
It's hard to say.
She could have went and lived a cushy life as an Athenian witch.
Mm-hmm.
That's on retainer by the king. Come on.
Yeah, with her kids. So to say that she has to now kill the children because they will be harmed otherwise, is this what she truly believes, or is this what she is set up so she will follow through on this act to hurt Jason?
Yeah.
And so we get to...
Yeah, the nail in coffin really was framing her kids.
Kind of framing the kids.
Like, hey, these boys want to give your new wife a gift.
Now, she leaves, and you hear the children cry for help off stage, and the chorus tries to go and stop Medea, but they're too late. And then Jason arrives, and stating he's come to save the children. Not from Medea. He doesn't know what Medea is planning, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know, but to save them from the remaining royal family. Quote,
Yep.
my care is but to save my children, not for her. Let them she wronged requite her as they may, I care not. 'Tis my sons I must some way save, ere the kingsmen of the dead can win from them payment of their mother's sins. So, he knows that Medea has created a situation in which his sons will pay the price for what she has done.
Mm-hmm.
And it is super interesting that now Jason is concerned about the kids. He was not worried about them earlier when they were going to be exiled to go off with Medea.
Well, at the very least, they're alive at that point.
Yeah.
Now, granted, again, not great situation all around.
Yeah.
But there's a level of they're alive, and maybe I'll even be able to get them back once I'm king.
Right. I mean, possibly that. But he also doesn't do anything like Medea is the one that presents the idea of trying to convince the king to let them stay. Now it's a trick, but Jason doesn't do any of that. And I think what it's meant to do, like what you're saying there, DJ, is it suggests that Jason doesn't view exile as being so dangerous as Medea does.
Yeah.
Perhaps because Jason literally cannot comprehend why exile would be more dangerous for Medea alone. Because Jason's been exiled a couple of times, and he's been just
I've been
fine.
Exiled. I've fought my way through it. Who cares?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's a man and a hero beloved by the gods. Exile doesn't mean the same thing to him that it does to Medea.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is to show, because I don't think it's meant to show that he doesn't actually care for the kids. He does.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that more painfully when Medea appears with the bodies of the children up on the roof of their house in her dragon-drawn carriage, a gift from her grandfather, the sun god Helios.
Outstanding. Love to see it.
Jason is devastated, and he is angry, and he is all the things you would expect a man and a father to be in this moment. He curses Medea, and he begs her to allow him to bury his sons, or at least touch them one more time. And Medea denies him, stating that the sons were not thine but mine. And when Jason states that she slew them, Medea responds, yes, to torture thee. Again, we're using that fucking old language, but we're moving past it, which also contradicts her previous statement about what she tells the chorus right before she kills the kids.
Yeah.
All of her actions are to torture Jason, are to get her revenge against Jason, who is abandoning her, and she wants to hurt him in the worst way.
Yeah.
And
damn, she had a dragon drawn carriage too. I think she'd have been fine in exile.
I also think she would have been fine in exile.
There's a level of I understand what she's going with, but then we got she's got safe passage to Athens. She's got a dragon-drawn carriage.
She's got magic.
She's got magic. She might be fine in exile. Just don't go back to Corinth, I guess.
The big thing is the betrayal of Jason.
What
he has done to her, right? It doesn't really matter if she's going to be fine after this. Jason has harmed her and betrayed her in such a specific, personal, and embarrassing way.
Yeah.
And Euripides presents a Medea who is as complicated as she is terrible, compounded by the fact that she is not punished for the terrible crime.
Mm-hmm.
As she and Jason yell at each other, their insults, their anger back and forth, she flies away with the kids' bodies. She vows that she is going to bury them in a place that is sacred to Hera, and she leaves.
Outstanding.
And Jason falls to the ground in pain, heartbroken, devastated. His bride dead, his soon-to-be father-in-law dead. He has no claims to the throne here. The children gone. He has nothing.
Yeah.
Medea's flying away on a dragon-drawn carriage. And the chorus kind of reflects on, was this the will of Zeus? What was up with this? This is kind of fucked up,
dude?
right? And
It was the will of Hera.
Except Hera loved Jason.
Well, I don't know.
Well, now that he betrayed her, maybe.
Yeah, now he betrayed the marriage, right?
Yeah. And so it could also be that. It's now that Hera, I've seen that noted elsewhere, that when Jason abandoned Medea, betraying the marriage, he lost his favor with Hera and he died alone and miserable.
Mm.
Another thing to note is that when I say Medea, is lifted off, literally that is what would happen on stage.
Nice.
They had the stagecraft to pull that kind of trick, right? It's a wooden crane with a pulley system called a mechane, and it would have been really familiar to Greek audiences. This is how characters who were playing gods or goddesses would enter scenes. They'd be literally lifted down from the heavens, lowered down.
Peter Pan style. Love to see it.
Peter Pan. This is where we get this thing is where we get the Latin term deus ex machina, machine of the gods, or God formed the machine.
Yeah.
Right? It is literally a god shows up to save the day. Nothing, this we've gotten in our too deep. There's no way to get out of the situation. Don't worry, a god showed up. And this is how they would do it when they were performing plays.
Yeah.
And so to have Medea not punished within the narrative, instead flying to safety in Athens and elevated with the imagery of a goddess. And so this may be why the audience, the judges, didn't resonate.
They gave it a lesson.
They're like, what are you? It's a tragedy, but not a tragedy for Medea. It's a tragedy for Jason, but it is a tragedy for Medea because Euripides makes a point to demonstrate that she's like, this is going to hurt me. It's not an easy thing. I don't want to do this, but I am going to do this because I'm so angry and I'm so vengeful at what Jason has done to me. Where Jason fully admits he doesn't know the princess. He's not. He just is doing this to be raised in status, politically advantageous. Like, Jason sucks, and he didn't do anything to protect his sons until it was way too late.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But Medea still kills her own children, and that's horrible. In the chorus, towards the end, they talk about how only one woman in all of history has ever killed her own children, and it's Ino, who was driven mad by Hera, right? And so Euripides' Medea is both a cursed, frenzied victim, and in the cold, avenging goddess who is punishing the mortal Jason who had wronged her. She is somehow both.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that bizarre?
It's very interesting.
Yeah. And here's the other thing that maybe made the judges a little bit like, what the fuck? Most scholars are pretty sure that Euripides is the one who introduced the idea of Medea being solely responsible for the death of the children. That this is where that element, like, very, very rarely can we point to a thing and be like, this is where it comes from. Now, there's another guy that some people think maybe it was this guy. But no, it was almost certainly Euripides right here, right now. Because in earlier versions, we have, it's the Corinthians who kill the kids because she kills, like, we still have Jason leaving her for the princess. She still poisons the princess.
But the Corinthians come up and be like, well, the kids were...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what Euripides is playing with, is expectation. Like, Medea is saying she's going to kill her children, but she decided she's not going to do it. And then they kill her. And then Jason shows up, and they're probably, like, the audience is thinking, oh, and then the Corinthians come up and kill. We know the way the story goes. And he changes it. Mm-hmm. There's another tale in which Medea kills her kids, but by accident. She buries them alive in a temple to Hera, believing this will make her children immortal. And it doesn't. So,
hate to see it.
So Euripides introduced this thing that was maybe not well received by an audience of the time for a few reasons, but it has become what is widely considered
a few hundred years too early.
The canon element of the Medea story.
Yeah.
It is the thing you thought of first, before the Golden Feast, before Jason.
She killed
Medea
the kids.
killed her. And honestly, that is the thing that's going to stand out. I'm not saying you were wrong for thinking of that first. That is the thing that defines Medea.
I think a play that I was in did a parody of it where they were holding two chickens.
What?
It was that Silly Town, Crazy Town play that I did. Mm-hmm. One of them was, it was just like a parody reference, and like, because it would be like the premise of this play was like, it's just kind of like, it's Crazy Town. So we're kind of popping in and out of different areas to see what's going on. And one of them was just doing a whole thing about like Medea, and she's got like the whole monologue, and she's holding the two bodies. It's covered, and at the end they revealed to be two chickens.
That is insane.
I don't remember anything else about it. I just remember seeing it from like the side of that of the stage.
That is very... What was your role in this play?
I did a detective.
Oh, cool.
That was like interrogating someone. And I had a lot of fun with it.
Nice. Okay, so, you know what's also crazy? Even after the events of Corinth, Medea still gets off fine.
Outstanding.
We've got other...
Well, she's got the King of Athens.
Right? We've got... Now, where her story goes next is different depending on who is telling it. But there's some themes. Usually, yeah, she does go to Athens. And DJ, you talked about her being a witch on retainer, which I would personally love. She's going to one-up you. She's going to become queen. She's going to marry the king.
Love to see that.
She's going to give birth to her son. His name is Medea.
It's like, oh, you want an heir?
I got you one right here.
I got you. I'll solve one of your issues, and I'll be your number 2.
Hey. Now here's the other. The Medea's got it's pretty set up in Athens, right? She's now the queen. Her son is the heir. It's all good. It's all great. And then the king's long lost son shows up. A dude named Theseus.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Now Medea knows who he is. And she's like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I am not letting this man ruin my son's security.
Yeah.
So she tries to poison Theseus to get rid of him. And before Theseus can drink the goblet, because she's also told the king, like, this guy's a liar, don't trust him, I will get rid of him, don't you worry, your majesty. And he's like, yeah, of course, that's why.
Great, 100%.
That's your thing, you're Medea. And then he recognizes Theseus' sword and his sandals, these 2 things he had left behind, and telling the woman who was pregnant with his son that when my son is old enough, he will move this stone and get the sandals and the sword, and he will come find me, and that's how I'll recognize him. And so he does. So the king knocks the goblet away, and Theseus is saved, and Medea has to flee with her kid.
You hate again. Why does Medea gotta run away?
She did kind of try to kill the king's son.
Okay,
and
but the king didn't realize it beforehand.
Yeah, but she did know it was him.
Okay, but does the king know that she knows?
I don't know, but Medea...
I don't think that's fair.
Listen, it's probably not good to have tried to poison the man who was going to be the future king.
No.
So she hightails it the fuck out of there. And then we have 2... splitting off. So depending on who we tell the story, there's one version where she ends up going to the plateaus of what is modern day Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And the people there change their names from the Aryans to the Medeans.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And yet another tale claims that Medea actually returned home to Glaucus. Right? But it's cool because she finds out that her uncle, Perseus, not Perseus, Perseus, has overthrown Aedes.
Oh, great.
Right. So, you know what? Here's a fun twist. This time, killing the uncle does solve the problem.
Crazy.
Depending on the story, either Medea takes over until her son is old enough to rule, or Aedes is put back on the throne, just securing Medea's position back into
a lineage.
Either way, her son, Medea, ends up ruling some kingdom in his lifetime.
Outstanding. Love to see it.
And that's Medea.
It sounds about right.
So, all of that. Here's the big, and now there are a couple small things.
All of that wonderful, rich lore boiled down to Macy's owner.
She does. Here's the thing. She is a businesswoman. and reflecting on that, I don't hate the fact that she owns a large department store.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a weird choice that it's a department store, not just like a pharmacy. She does pharmakia, which is specifically like plant-based magics, right? It's the thing she does is the thing Circe does. Whenever she does magics, it always is like references herbs. Like she made that ointment for Jason. She did some sort of magic herb in the cauldron. She put some like poison and like she always is using something like that for her craft. So just the department store is a little weird of a vibe. It feels like she's not in like, and she's not really using, like, that's not what she does to enchant Jason and Leo in the sequence. She does charm speak, which is kind of leaning into.
But she could have done like a perfume.
Right? I was literally thinking a perfume, like a potion.
Like you literally have perfumes on the table, I think, like in front of her.
Yeah.
She does charm speak
and spray. Yeah. Because that's the skill. And Medea is very skilled at manipulating men. And charm speak works better on men. As we see, it doesn't work on Piper.
I think it works better on if somebody's attracted to you.
Which is true.
I would say it's probably how it's supposed to be.
In the Ryan verse, we've never seen charm speak work on a woman.
Have we seen a man use it yet?
That's not true. We do see Drew Tanaka using charm speak, and it's persuading everybody at camp.
That was a charm speak through fear.
Yeah, but also
and it's not as strong.
Also,
but it's
like she was using charm speak. She was making good points. Like Piper hadn't done anything yet. Yeah. She wasn't even like claimed by Aphrodite yet. How could she be the dove? So, you know.
And then she was claimed by Aphrodite and became the dove. Like,
of
right
course.
there.
I mean,
like,
if you were claimed
and
at the ceremony where you're discussing,
Aphrodite's for the drama.
She's for the drama. If you're claimed at a ceremony where you're discussing who's going to go on the quest, I think that pretty much means you get to go on the quest.
That's literally a sign from the god.
Yeah. Imagine if she'd been claimed, but she was like the daughter of Demeter. Yeah. They're like, oh, well, that's awesome. I guess Drew's still going, though. He's not a dove.
Yeah, I feel like that's truthfully only Aphrodite could have claimed in that situation. Everybody else would be like, we'll wait for tomorrow. Not this conversation.
I know I'm supposed to claim someone right now, and I swear I'm not putting it off. This feels so
literally
weird.
Looking down, watching this whole thing like...
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't know, it'd be weird. And so, this sequence is so weird and kind of too long.
A little bit.
Does it feel drawn out to you? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna pull off.
I mean, it's 3 or 4 chapters at most from Piper's perspective.
It is. Because Rick Riordan only can have him do the one thing, but the Medea problem is like, it takes so fucking long.
Yeah.
Because they have Coach Hedge they're trying to get.
Medea and the Burning Mage is way better.
Medea and the Burning Maze is way better. We will talk more about Medea and the Burning Maze when we get to that. That is Rick Riordan, I think, redoing Medea because he did do a really weak Medea.
A lot of trials is him kind of looking back and being like, there are some things that I did that were kind of crazy. With I mean, he shits on the whole Western civilization thing with Rhea.
Yeah, he realizes that's not a thing we need to be upholding. Yeah.
And Rhea's like, that's not why we did it. We did it because they were powerful or some shit like that.
Right.
It was an up and coming civilization. It was just the best one at the time.
the concept of like the inherent light of Western civilization is kind of like a white supremacist concept that we should all move away from. Medea is never referred to, she's not never, sorry. When we first see her, it's a chunk of time before we call her Medea, which is a pretty classic Rick Riordan trick, right?
It's M's.
Yes. She refers to herself as a princess.
Which is the second
Her Highness.
M that we've had so far, at least.
Yes. They have, and so she has Coach Hedge. And so they're trying to like, oh, you've got him, we want him back. But also like Leo and Jason are like being transfixed. She's like, oh, let's go shopping. Come and look at this. Come look at my goods. Come look at my wares. And Piper's like, something's wrong. It's really weird. What's going on?
Yeah.
And it just keeps going on.
Yeah, the something's wrong section takes a while, for sure.
Yeah.
The piecing it together, it's, we could cut out 2 things that get pieced together.
Yeah, she keeps hinting like, oh, I want to make a deal, but you have to follow up on your end of the bargain. Like there was a handsome hero. He wanted something from my father's kingdom. I told him I'd help steal it. And then he ended up cheating me out of what I was owed. And it's like, okay, like little hints, little drops, which is like fun when you're like a kid and you're reading it and you're like, ooh, can I guess who they are? Can I guess before it's said? Like that is fun. And that's kind of what it's for. But it does go long for.
But he also does it for every single one of them.
Yes.
When
and then Piper realizes
when in this series we do not play with who the fuck Polyphemus is. I'm like, that is great. I'm a big fan of that. Of like him, he's coming. We got to be careful. He's here.
No, it's just like, Polyphemus. Yeah, that works a lot better. We don't need the drops and the teasing. Piper realizes who she is, but she doesn't want to say it because she's terrified. But simultaneously, it's like, oh no, look, there's a shirt hanging here, and it looks like from Camp Jupiter. It's like Jason's, but it's all tattered and torn. No, something's wrong. Danger, danger, like red flag, danger. It just goes on. But here's the part I wanted to talk about. So she's realizing, like, Piper has realized who she is, but she hasn't said it yet. And she talks about, like, Her Highness is what they keep referring to it as, about the hero who betrayed her. He didn't hold... But Piper's arguing. It's like, no, he kept his end of the bargain. He married you just as promised. At first, it seemed he would keep his word. But even after I helped him steal my father's treasure, he still needed my help. As we fled, my brother's fleet came after us. His warships overtook us. He would have destroyed us, but I convinced my brother to come aboard our ship first and talk under the flag of truth. He trusted me. You killed your own brother, Piper said. The horrible story all coming back to her, along with the name. The infamous name that began with the letter M. Jason starts to stir. You
Medusa.
Medusa. Jason starts to stir. You killed your own. No, the princess snapped. Those stories are lies. It was my new husband and his men who killed my brother, though they couldn't have done it without my deception. They threw his body into the sea, and the pursuing fleet had to stop and search for it so they could give my brother a proper burial. They gave us time to get away. All this I did for my husband, and he forgot about our bargain, and he betrayed me in the end. And then they're like, yeah, it's Jason, the original Jason. You should be dead. And that's we're like, oh no, like Gaia brought her back. Like it's part of she is mortal.
Listen, doors of death, the whole thing. We'll deal with that here soon. 6 months.
Yeah, but we're still getting a little bit more. Finally, like Piper's like, okay, we can't beat around the bush anymore. You're Medea. You helped the original Jason steal the Golden Fleece. You're one of the most evil villains in Greek mythology. Jason, Leo, don't trust her.
Evil villains. One play. She's a villain.
One play. And it starts to work, and then there's back and forth. The charms speak. At one point in time, Piper tries to argue again. Guys, the original Jason left Medea because she was crazy and bloodthirsty. Lies. On the way from Colchis, Jason's ship landed in another kingdom, and Jason agreed to dump Medea and marry the king's daughter. After I bore him 2 children, Medea said. Still, he broke his promise. I asked you, was that right? It may not have been right, but neither was Medea's revenge. She murdered her own children to get back at Jason. She poisoned his new wife and fled the kingdom. Medea snarled. An invention to ruin my reputation. The people of Corinth, that unruly mob, killed my children and drove me out. Jason did nothing to protect me. He robbed me of everything. So yes, I sneaked back into the palace and poisoned his lovely new bride. It was only fair, a suitable price. You're insane, Piper said. I'm the victim. I died with my dreams shattered, but no longer. I know now not to trust heroes. And then skipping ahead to one more thing. Leo, she's lying. She did that trick with somebody before. Oh, she's telling Leo she can make him more powerful. She's lying. She did that trick with somebody before, a king, I think. She convinced his daughter to come into pieces so he could come out of the water young and healthy again. But it just killed him.
That one she did do. She did
do that one, yeah. So here's why I wanted to do that at the end after we ran all that. Because Rick Riordan is picking the weirdest things.
Literally, like, okay, the fact line is not the play.
Yeah. we get events.
So it's like Medea's not actually. She killed the princess, but that was like it.
Right, and she killed the princess in this text after the mob
had
killed her children.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until after the end of the they weren't even back with the fleece yet. But Medea doesn't do the thing where she kills the king until they're back with the fleece because it's Jason's uncle that she's trying to kill to get him out of the way so Jason could get the throne back because he recanted his promise with the fleece thing.
Yeah.
And then but he does choose to use Apollonius's element of it wasn't Medea who killed her brother, it was Jason. But then we're not going to use the element of it wasn't from Euripides. Medea didn't kill her kids, it was the Corinthians.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And so for Piper to say she is the most evil villain in all of Greek mythology, and there's a lot of characters who do a lot of evil and fucked up shit in Greek mythology, but the reason Medea gets that title is because she kills her own children in cold blood.
Yeah.
And I think that's
it's just not even true.
And Rick decides, no, that's not true.
Yeah, literally. It's like, it's just not true.
So if it's not true, then she's not.
Yeah.
Then she's just another person, another antagonist in this book working for Gaia that's just trying to stop the heroes.
She was wronged by the gods.
She was wronged by Jason. Like, he left her. And then in this text, what we're saying is Jason dumped her, the woman he was married to and had kids with, for another princess. When the mob tried to drive Medea out of town, they killed her kids. Jason didn't stop him, didn't do anything, so Medea kills the princess in revenge. Yeah. And honestly, that's fine. Yeah. That's pretty fucking standard Greek hero behavior.
I get it.
So what do you mean you're going to have Piper tell me she's the worst villain in Greek mythology, but then that's the version of events?
Like, the actual story is, no, yeah. It's not even like half as bad as what some of the other heroes have done.
Yeah, that's not half as bad as what fucking Jason did. Let's be so fucking honest here. Let's be so fucking for real here. And so I don't understand why defang Medea. I guess is what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to do Medea, let her be evil.
YA.
Right, like, you can't have her kill the kids. She didn't really kill her brother. She didn't really kill her kids. But you still want her to be the greatest villain.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's ridiculous.
And you still have her, like, why would she kill that king? That was to help Jason. Everything she did was to help Jason.
Listen, 3 years later, she's going to put a lasso around her grandfather's neck and just try to drain him of all his power, so...
And there's where we have a villainous, ambitious...
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He's trying to get all of his power to give to Slipper.
I can't remember.
I don't remember his name.
Don't worry about
Calman.
You can't. You have to stop.
Who killed Jason Grace? Caligula.
Caligula.
I'm like, this name is used in something else. I don't remember.
Commonly, you'll get Caligula.
It was used in Psychonauts 2. The big bad was named Caligula. It was really fun. It was a very good ending. I like that game a lot.
Nice. So it just seems odd to me that Rick is going to do Medea, but have her not do the biggest thing that makes Medea the villain. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I could have played with the events of like that was it was a misunderstanding. I had buried them.
Yeah, we did.
Could have done that one, and she still kills her kids. But now it's misunderstanding, so it's like it could be under like I could see that going one way in the history books, but
because he doesn't invent the fact that the Corinthians killed the kids, like that is an older element of the story. In fact, apparently it was an urban legend that the reason Euripides changes the tale was because he was bribed by the Corinthians to do so. This is not true. There's no evidence to support this. It's just a thing some people would say.
Yeah,
trying to like revive their names, let us off the hook.
What was the political scene back then? If this rumor was flying around,
and I don't even know where the rumor. If it was contemporary or if it was something that came later.
People just like truthfully have the beliefs like, dude, be careful of the Corinthians. They kill kids.
Maybe. There's also some archaeological scholarship that suggests that maybe there was like this tale of Medea and her children were part of some sort of like secret like mystery cult in the religious practices of Corinth. That maybe was like an element that was tied to an older, more ancient story of Medea from the area. But like, there's not a lot to like follow that thread down, so I didn't get a chance to pull that. But yeah, and then Piper does charm speak better. They free Coach Hedge. They all run off.
I was wrong. It's Caligula, I'm pretty sure.
But referencing Caligula.
Yeah.
And like malevolent.
Yes.
So, so you can see why I wanted to do that one kind of more at the end, just to kind of demonstrate the arc.
Weird timeline that.
Yes, like
Rick chose to do.
Yeah, there's a clear arc in like how Medea's story evolved with different strongly influential texts, and then the way Rick Riordan chooses to pull those texts, which I don't hate.
Chooses to pull it is like makes her truthfully the most understandable victim I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, what do you mean she's
out of all the stories that you've chosen to do?
Yeah,
the way that you've chosen to interpret this character.
And she tries to like get Jason and Leo to fight each other, right? Fight to the death. But she's working for Gaia, so she's honestly just a bog standard baddie.
Yeah, you could have just she was like the gods fucking brainwashed me to do all this shit for Jason, then he threw me aside. Like, why would I side with gods on this one?
Yeah, it could be like, I need to stop you because I will not. Like, yeah, let her be angry at the god. She's mad at Jason still. And you know what? Yeah, be mad at Jason, but I want her to, like, that would have been so much more interesting. It's like Medea, like, Gaia picked me specifically because, not just of my power, but because I know truly what the gods do to mortals.
Yeah,
their
I know
time
that the gods
is
just
over.
play with us.
Yeah,
like we are just playthings.
It's like, and I would have loved her to be like, "Hey, it's nothing against you, kids. I'm sorry, I don't like this."
You hate to see it. You guys are heroes.
But you're heroes, and you're heroes who stand for the Olympians. In fact, honestly, let her be a little salty about Piper's mom. But no, don't ever do that. Like, Medea is such an interesting character. I really full on hard stuff would not have minded if she didn't have any personal grudge against Piper, even as a daughter of Aphrodite, or Jason for his namesake or anything like that. And she was just like, unfortunately, you're on the wrong side, kids. If you come to my side, we don't have to do this. But if you stand against me, well, I killed my own children because of the madness of the gods. Don't think for a second I won't stop you. Like, do it. If you're going to do it, fucking do it.
Just run it.
Like, that's the thing. It's the same thing with Medusa. If you wanted to bring Medusa, but you needed to, like, smooth down and sugarcoat her myth because it was too heavy for your context, maybe don't bring Medusa into this. If you're going to bring Medea into this, but not have her...
It's not even like... It's a Greek play, too.
Yeah, and it's also like... Yeah, right. It's not some, like, weird Christian invention that he's pulling from. And then the other weird element is, like... I like that he's pulling from, again, that like story of the Corinthians being responsible, like, is an older part of the myth. And I think it is interesting to bring in. But then that reality of what she's presenting as the truth isn't interrogated. Like, Piper doesn't accuse her of lying. And I don't think she is lying because she fully admits, oh, yeah, and then I killed that princess. Oh, yeah, and I killed that king. Like, I don't think Medea's lying. I think we are meant to understand that she didn't kill her kids.
Like, when the things that somebody admits to can go a long way to judging as to whether or not somebody is also lying. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, I did all those also bad things, but I didn't do that. That shit's fucked up.
I didn't kill my brother. Granted, Jason couldn't have killed him if I hadn't helped trick him, but I'm not the one who held the sword.
Yeah.
Like, I think we are meant to understand that she isn't lying. But if she's not lying, then we have a far more interesting and sympathetic character that we waste.
Hate to see it.
Have you met Medea in any pop culture things?
Only one.
Only one?
I can think.
Oh, hey.
Hades
cool.
2.
Oh, okay. Let's save Hades 2 for the end.
Okay.
Sorry, that's the one I'm most excited to talk about. I just want to talk about Medea and some other things I've read her in. Okay. I'm sure Medea has appeared. Here's the thing. I don't think if you look for her, you can't walk 5 steps without tripping over a Medea reference or like an element or things like that. But here are the ones that I've met her in.
I know Medea goes to prison.
Okay, well that's a Tyler Perry. we don't setting aside Tyler Perry movies.
So you said a Tyler Perry of it all.
That's not it. We have a big one. The first time I encountered Medea in like pop culture retellings is from Madeline Miller's Circe.
Uh-huh.
We meet up with Medea from that element of the Argonautica when she and Jason go to Circe's island seeking like to be purged of the miasma that has infected them following the death of Medea's brother. Then this one, Medea is the one that kills her. It kills her brother. It's so sad, this sequence, right? Because in Madeline Miller's Circe has been banished to Aea, right? This is where she's the witch of Aea. She is actually trapped and imprisoned here. She's not allowed to leave. And Medea shows up. And Circe is genuinely, like, happy to recognize her. Like, happy to see she's never met Medea before, but she can see her brother, Aedes, in her. And so she's actually happy, and she knows what's going on with Jason isn't good. That she can tell that Jason is going to abandon her, right? He's a fucking loser. Medea is so, like, in love with this guy who is not shit. We are going to get to that eventually. And she offers to have Medea stay on the island with her and train her in her magics. And Medea is so dismissive of her aunt. Basically, she thinks she's wretched and she's pathetic and she's just alone here, miserable on her island. And you're just jealous because I have a husband and I will get to be married and I will get to be queen. And you're here and you're alone. And it's so sad because you know what's going to happen to Medea. If you're reading this book, you know Jason will abandon her. You know the suffering she's going to go through. And me as a reader, I just really wish she would stay with Aunt Circe. It would have been so good, but she doesn't. We get a similar thing in Atalanta, a book by Jennifer Saint, which tells the story of Atalanta on the Argo. And she, we get Medea and Atalanta is like, damn, this woman's really cool. She's so fucking competent. She's really intense. And then when she's going to get married to Jason, Atalanta's kind of like, why do you want to? I don't know why. Because also Atalanta was like raised by nymphs in a like sacred to Artemis. And she grew up hunting with Artemis, right? So she does not understand, like literally fundamentally doesn't understand why women need men in this kind of like political power support. Like she's over here hooking up with one of the other Argonauts. So she understands that aspect. But like the power, the protection, the security, and the social status, she like does not understand. And so rather than getting a kind of interesting like discussion about it, as soon as Atalanta voices any like, why do you want to marry Jason? He's kind of a fucking loser. He's never accomplished anything cool. Like everyone, the rest of the crew are the ones carrying it. Medea just kind of sends her away.
You hate to see it.
Okay, well, you clearly don't actually get it. I thought you'd get it because you're a woman, but you don't get it. So you can go. And I'm like, no, Medea. Even if you have to marry Jason because it's a story, can't you and Atlanta be friends for a second? No, because women are not allowed to be friends with other women in these fucking retellings, it feels like.
Hate to see it.
Not in Madeline Miller's Circe. She and Penelope become friends, and it's fucking great, to be clear. But in Jennifer saying stuff, I'm realizing it as I'm saying it right now, this is kind of a reoccurring thing for her. Because let's jump to Ariadne. Another time where Medea shows up. Because Ariadne is with Theseus. And so they go back to Theseus's place after the Minotaur stuff, and Medea's there. And she's like, no, my king, this I can see in the future, this man will cause your death. And that's why she tries to kill him, because he does, by accident, by not having the flags of his sails be the right color. So when the ship comes back, the king thinks Theseus, his son, is dead, and he throws himself off the cliffs.
Yeah.
So Medea tries to kill him that way, but it doesn't. So then she flees. And she's just kind of mentioned in passing in that text. And then I got one more.
Mm-hmm.
I read a full-on, like, retelling of the life of Medea by Eilish Quin. And maybe I went in with too high expectations. Maybe I walked in wanting it to be Madeline Miller Circe. And you can't expect everyone to be Madeline Miller Circe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend this book.
Ooh.
I don't think it was very
You hate to see
strong.
it.
I think it didn't take a hard enough stance on the kind of Medea tale it wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it wanted Medea to be undeniably in the right. Medea does kill her brother, but it's just a trick to get away from her father. She is able to bring him back to life because she has this special potions. Because her mother saw a vision of her being responsible for her son's death. And Medea was told this at a young age, so she spent her whole life trying to figure out how she will save her brother's life. And so when they pull this stunt, she already has the potion ready to save them. Jason is just a fuckwad. He just kind of sucks the whole time. You really don't get why she would like him, even if it's compelled by the gods. And the text tries to suggest that it is because she's being compelled by the gods, but simultaneously it doesn't want to change the way Medea is being characterized. Therefore, we don't have a sudden shift into obsession, which you would expect to justify. She is still very much a reserved, quiet, close person who all of a sudden will just want to help this guy for apparently no reason, because the author seemed like she didn't want to change the way she was characterizing Medea. When we get to the end where they're gonna banish her and she poisons the princess, but also feels like she didn't really want to do that either. And so she does kill the kids, but only because she's trying to trick Jason into not following her, because she's planning on resurrecting them like she did to her brother. But this time the spell doesn't work because she doesn't have the right ingredients.
Yeah.
And so it lets her off the hook there, and it was just kind of weak. I don't know.
You hate to see it.
I don't know what I wanted. I wanted Madeline Miller Circe, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And even the Medea who you meet.
Listen,
so
there
briefly.
are sometimes you get something so good that you do kind of start engaging in stuff similar because you're chasing that high.
You are, and you just like, I want it to be here. Please be here, and it can't. And I think the other thing about Medea is if you're going to do Medea, I think she has to be ruthless.
Yeah.
Even if she's being compelled by the gods. Right. I think what makes Medea compelling is
she's got to be unquestioning in her own decision.
Yes. And this book,
unless it's killing her kids, and then you can be kind of questioning your own decision, but
everything else, but it's painful, right? Like it can be complicated, but I think Medea needs to be ruthless, and this wasn't it.
You hate to see it.
Oh, one more. I saw a rock opera. Medea was a rock opera. Medea. It was called
fun.
Rock Medea. I saw it in New York.
How was it?
It was really cool. Our friend of the show, Erica, she was in it as one of the chorus.
Oh, nice.
And it was really, really cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was fucking killer. It was the Medea play done in a rock opera style. So there's a lot of singing. It's the first time where I felt the pain of Medea and the complicated nature of this figure beyond she kills her kids. She's the most evil villain in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are lots of other Medeas. Those are the ones I've encountered that I find on a sliding scale of how successful I feel they engage with the Medea story.
Yeah. I have seen Medea once before, but she is a persona in Persona 3.
Oh.
And that's what she looks like.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Let me look at this.
She's a little freaky.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. And I aside from Hades, I got nothing else for Medea.
Well, I've talked a lot. So would you like to talk about Lady Medea in Hades too?
She is a witch that deals in health and poisons.
Pharmakia.
Yeah. And she's the area NPC.
Helper Hand.
Helper Hand, is that what they're called?
I think that's what they're called. Yeah, hold on, I wrote it.
Of the first level on the surface, the city of I don't remember what the city is.
Ephria?
Yeah, Ephyria,
yeah.
And she's got some really good ones.
Yeah,
she's got one where every single encounter you get an extra 5% health.
Ooh, that's really good.
Yeah, no, it's an extra 5 magic And then you can get something from Hephaestus that increases your health in relation to your magic. And so you're just always going up in health, and it's great.
Damn, I would fucking kill for that.
That's what I do. Every time I get it, I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then it helps so much with Typhon, because he just does so much damage in one hit.
God, I've never even reached Typhon.
If you make yourself a big hit sponge, if you can manage to get those two things together, it's so good. It is so helpful in like Mount Olympus and then some.
Yeah, I really like, I've talked about this a lot, how I love the fact that since you are Melanoe, you are a woman, you're a goddess, you're a witch, you're part of this coven. Figures who are usually threats in Greek tales are not a threat to you.
It's awesome.
I've talked about how I'm so glad you are friends with Circe. I'm legitimately delighted that you get to be friends with Medea.
It's super good.
She is not a threat to you.
Have you played around with the contract at all? The thing that makes it harder every night, like where with Zag, it was the contract.
Yeah.
Right, where you add amplifiers to everything and to make it like harder. The heat level is what it's called.
Yes. Is that the one where you're like doing stuff with chaos?
Night. No, it's like it's the contract of Nyx or some shit like that. It's a blast.
No, I haven't completed a single run. So no, I have not.
You have not gotten it yet.
I haven't gotten
as a matter of fact, you hate to see it. I'm gonna spoil
really
it.
Hard. No, you can spoil it. It's fine.
Okay, the one where it edits like what the bosses do.
Yeah.
It changes it to where Medea starts participating in the fight with Polyphemus.
Why would she do that?
Because it's what the contract is telling her to do.
Huh.
Right? It's the will. It's the will of I cannot remember what this thing is.
It seems really mean to fuck with
but
Medea
it's like,
again.
Look, Medea was like, Medea comes in the fight. You're like, well, I'm here because I'm told to by this thing that you have initiated, and she knows that this is happening. She understands that what is going on and why she's doing what she's doing, because you're asking for it effectively.
Okay.
And
what does she do?
Well, she adds poison to all of Polyphemus's attacks.
Shit.
And it makes it so hard because when you get poisoned, you lose like 15 to 20 health, just outright. There's nowhere to stop it after you get poisoned. Even if you're dodging every other attack, you're ticking down on that poison. It's a nightmare to deal with. But Polyphemus totally confused as to what's going on.
He's not aware what this is.
He's like, what the fuck? You're going to help me? Why? Okay. And then like I turned it off after the first try because I got bodied by it. I couldn't do it at all.
Yeah.
And Polyphemus next time was like, where's the witch girl? Is she not here?
Witch girl?
All right. I guess.
That's so funny. I do love that they know. I do love that they know when you fuck around with, like, if you turn the music
they
off,
can feel
still
like
it gets freaked out.
If you keep fucking with that thing, everyone's like, the night feels particularly dark tonight. What's going on? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Everybody has that kind of thing. Even Polyphemus is like, dude, tonight feels weird. What's going on?
I love that. It's such a fucking good game. I wish I could beat literally one run. I'm not good at it. It's so embarrassing. Okay. I want to close out with a couple parting questions that I don't have answers to, but I think it's interesting to reflect on. So, is Medea a tool being used by the gods to help their beloved hero? Or is she a goddess who is scorned by a greedy, ambitious man?
It started off as a tool, probably was recontextualized into being more of a goddess.
Mm-hmm. Can she be a sympathetic character when she does something so unspeakable? And simultaneously, adding on to that, why is Hercules forgiven for the exact same crime, but Medea is not? Was she not also driven mad by the gods, even if that madness was intended to aid a man and not punish him?
I mean, technically, it seems like, you even argued it, that she was in her right mind the entire time through the play.
See, no, I argue that what she does is not easy for her to do. I'm not arguing that woman's in her right mind. That woman's not in her fucking right mind. No one in the right mind kills their kids. Sorry. I want to be so clear. If that's how I
No one in the right mind murders, Darien, period, okay?
Listen, no.
We can't just say, well, they're crazy when they do something crazy.
Right, but in Greek mythology, you can be driven crazy by the gods. So I'm talking only about this in text and narrative.
You can be, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for letting me know that. I want to be super clear. I'm not arguing that in Medea, the play, she is in her right mind when she acts like that. I'm arguing that it's interesting that Euripides made a point to demonstrate that Medea is emotionally conflicted and that what she is doing is not the act of a heartless, unfeeling woman. It is the act of a woman in exquisite and excruciating pain. But yes, the thing I would argue is that why is Hercules forgiven? To the point where even Medea, in some texts, heals him from his madness inflicted by Hera. But Medea is remembered as the greatest villain of Greek myth.
Arguably because the madness inflicted by the gods happens so early that like there's a level of 10, 20 years down the line, it's either like forgotten that this has happened to this person or it's not even contextualized as madness. This person is just love-stricken.
True. It is not, you're right. It's not framed as madness inflicted on her by the gods. It's framed as madness because she is enraged and vengeful for a woman scorned. But is that 100% fair when you look at everything she's done? And Jason argues, no, the gods made you do that. It's
Listen,
like, okay,
Jason
buddy.
sucks ass, but I also think that you didn't need to kill your kids here.
Didn't need to, no.
Like,
let's be so fucking clear. She didn't need
simple
to.
as her actions taken in the play are very extreme, and you could have gone into exile. You could have gone into exile again. You had the King of Athens. You had your dragon-drawn carriage. You were a magical, powerful witch. You were totally fine with exile.
Totally fine. I think she was just mad because Jason.
you hate to see it. Don't get me wrong, and I know that there's some people won't be, but Medea would have been.
No, you're for sure. Medea's tragedy is that she couldn't look past the pain of betrayal to be able to recognize she had what she needed. She needed to hurt Jason more than anything else.
Yeah.
And her kids paid the price.
Yeah.
So that's Medea.
Nice.
Cool.
It's Medea.
We're we did it, which means, hey, we get to talk about Son of Neptune next time.
I will listen to it at work.
I will also do that thing. So we will be back in your ears on, I hope this was fun. I don't know if this was a fun episode. I hope this was an interesting episode, a thoughtful episode.
Look, it's mythology. Sometimes it's not going to be fun. It's going to be interesting and thoughtful, okay?
Yeah.
Mythology is not always sunshine and rainbow.
It's not always like a fun time for everybody. So we'll be back in your ears on Tuesday, September the 8th to cover The Son of Neptune. Because we're not going hiatus between stories. We're figuring this season out, but we're still doing books. And it's fine. We talked about it before.
There's a lot of ground we're retreading with all these books, so we just don't need to do it again unless we want to do it again, which we will for Mars. Which we will for Mars. We'll do a proper Mars Ares episode. Yep. But until then, don't be like Zeus. Don't be like Zeus. Muses of Mythology is created and hosted by Darien and DJ Smartt. It's edited by Darien Smartt. The show is produced by Darien and DJ Smartt, as well as Tim O'Connor, The Crystal Conman, Nicholas Miller, Jeffrey Babbitt. In last, our music is Athens Festival by Martin Hain. And our cover is by Ran Kapoka. You can find them on Instagram or through the link in our show notes. Want more Muses of Mythology? Support the show on Patreon. Join the Patreon for free for access to outtakes and bloopers from our main feed episodes. Or for $5 a month, you can enjoy our Bunker 9 bonus episodes every other week. Get more at patreon.com/Muses of Mythology. You can also support the show by leaving a review or tell a friend why you love the show. Don't forget to check out all of our episodes and episode transcripts at musesofmythology.com. Thanks for listening.